You and me, Gilbert! You and me. Mano a mano. Not really mano a mano. We're going to have help. In the form of our new husbando. Who is our old husbando. I always knew. Deep down inside, we all knew that Barack would be the one, right? We were distracted by the theatrics and the himboism and the cocaine-induced hallucinations. But no, we have found our way. Hey, Nyatsarugi! I am starting a bit late. I woke up late and had a late dinner, so that's my bad, but it's fine. Just means that I don't have to rush through this. I wasn't planning to anyway, but... yeah, I don't think this is going to be quite the finale, even though we had the last proper break, but I mean, who knows? With how much they've been, how much they've been dumping out some of this exposition and some of this plot stuff. Because of the possibility of this game getting cut back into two. Hi, Scroy. Bye, Scroy. Hi, Ren. I'm excited. I squeeze my crypto stress ball in excitement. Ugh. Gonna use your emotes so much tonight. Use them if you got them, everyone. They're there for a reason. Get the feeling we're gonna need them. It's your last night until your sub runs out, dummy. Ren. Oh, you dummy, that's rude. Just the first word I saw there. So hyped for the destruction of Judge Gantz. You and me both. This is gonna be fun. I'm very interested to see how, like, what can you say after a certain point? Like, I know we're in a court full of witnesses. Hence why, he's even humoring us going this far in the first place, but nonetheless. What am I gonna do? Arrest myself? I think not. Good day to you, sir. Got a new phone jet? Hey, congrats. Very, very nice. Ugh. Got stung by a wasp and then proceeded to play 3 hours of softball. What the hell? That's a day. Jesus. Hope you're doing all right. Not allergic to stings, I take it, hopefully. Alright, let's see. Anything else I can do here? Why is Zhao trending? I'm guessing it has to do with something with the newest event, but I haven't played that yet. Probably won't until it's completely finished. But Zhao's been trending for like 2 days now. What did he do? Was he tsundere again? I bet he was tsundere again. Can you perhaps give a guilty verdict to yourself? No! I don't think I will. Well, he's got you there. Damn it, I can't believe that didn't work. He's such a nice guy. He was so, it was always so helpful to us, even being obviously evil. How am I feeling? I'm feeling good, Pump. Like I said. Like, the underlying depression / tiredness is still there, especially because Shark Week has started. So I felt pretty miserable most of the day, but I'm feeling, I'm good. I'm feeling energized, because I want to know what's going on. I need answers. I need to know who Iris's daddy is. It's important. If she is Von Zeke's daughter or niece, then that'll make the adoption process much easier. It'll help to have a blood relative on our side of the custody dispute. You're all here for me, even Rex? Yeah, believe me, I know. I was messing around in his game just before this. I hate him. I hate that I have to use him. I hate looking at his stupid fucking shorts anytime I have to play as him. I fucking hate the little shit. What's spoopin', JC? Also, yeah, don't mind me in case it weren't obvious. Always feel the need to say it and just kind of fucking around, giving people a chance to get in here. This is a big day. Also, I have my glasses on for some reason. I know why, because I'm usually using them. But that'll interfere with blinking. That'll be weird. We won't do that. Is Rex really that bad? You didn't see the stream for Xenoblade 2? He is one of the worst protagonists in any video game I've ever played. He is a Mary Sue, despite being a literal child and a shit kid, who basically gets everything handed to him and has every other character suck his dick. Oops. Despite doing nothing to warrant it. Yeah, we're shitting on that one again. It's never a bad time to shit on Rex, okay?
Whoa!
It should be a national pastime. It should be as mandatory at major events as singing the national anthem, or standing for the national anthem. Can you tell I've never been to a sporting event? That's not true. I went to a Ravens game once. Or no, wait, no, it wasn't football. It was the Orioles. It was the Baltimore Orioles, #1. I went to a baseball game once. That's what I did. I can You have Xenoblade 2, but no others. Xenoblade 2 is you can play Xenoblade 2 on its own. It'll kind of spoil some stuff from 1, but yeah, you don't need to play the first one first, or X. Even if ZA was better. I was gonna say, yeah, no, everyone, that was one thing that kept coming up during the playthrough. So play it in Japanese, it'll make it better. Nah. The character is inherently poorly written, and most of the events surrounding him are poorly written. The voice acting is just funny. It's like, have you heard my impression? It doesn't sound anything like him. I can try to do an actual impression of his voice, because it's just slightly high-pitched British boy, and super monotone, and incapable of emoting when speaking above 1 octave! I don't do that, though. I do the shit kid voice, because that better sums up his actual character. I like Pyra! Alright. Enough of that. Make a girl cry? That's not gonna fly. Make a girl smile? You pass the trial. Let's make Iris smile. We gotta pass this trial. We gotta kill Gilbert. Or arrest him, same thing. Still need to rewrite Xenoblade 2 that includes a time skip idea we addressed before, yes. Oh shit, hey girl! Yes, you're here too? You went to sit down and slammed your head into a dresser, and no! Don't pull a Kazuma! Somebody mentioned that in the Discord earlier. Somebody was like, oh man, if only we'd had Christopher Columbus and his magic fairies in case 1-2. Everything would have been better. And I was just like, wait a minute, yo. Corey Feldman played a woodworm. That woodworm could have fucking, drilled into the wood on the bedpost. Like, rounded it off a little bit. And so Kazuma wouldn't have put his head as hard. We'd have had a completely different game. Corey Feldman Woodward was the hero we needed and deserved. Hey, Manada, you've missed literally nothing. People are taking their sweet time today. I guess everyone's busy. Or watching Nico B instead of me. It is his birthday stream. Happy birthday, Nico. You steal my niche for doing stupid voices and your birthday's this close to mine? You've taken everything from me, Nico B. Yeah, it's fine. I'm still determined to finish Yakuza before him. It's gonna happen. He isn't anime. That's the one thing I have over him, is he is not anime. Got C5 Shinyan and C1 Cushing. Hey! That's not bad. He also shares the same birthday with Zenkichi. Oh, was his birthday actually yesterday? Oh, okay. Or was Zenkichi's actually? I don't know. Japan time makes the birthdays weird a lot of the time. But that's cool. I share my birthday with Sigourney Weaver. I am old. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Yujin Mikitomo, lecturer in forensic science at Imperial Yume University in Tokyo, Japan. And Professor Mikitomo, the young lady beside you is... very pretty. Please introduce me. Oh my god! You can't steal heterosexuality! That's my last option! Is Gory okay? She is staring at Mikitoba quite intently. What are you doing?
Trying to destroy his brain with my mental powers.
I don't think it's working.
Damn it!
This is Dr. Maria Gory, Scotland Yard's practicing coroner, the daughter of Dr. Scythe, I understand.
Yes, Dr. Scythe. Is Mikitoba cheating on the cheater? Good God. We need a fucking Venn diagram.
I'm afraid I can't tell you why she's here. She just appeared.
I like his mustache. You summoned this strange Japanese man as a witness to that autopsy? But you don't summon Mama? That makes no sense! She was there too!
She is in jail.
That's about the size of it.
Also, she's made it clear she won't talk. She is absolutely not going to help us on this at all.
I've had her eyes boring into the side of my cheek constantly whilst I was in the antechamber, too.
Poor man, the idea of it's making me shudder.
The revelations about Dr. Scythe that came to light some days ago defiled the reputation of the entire judiciary.
Speaking of strikers, Nico didn't suspect Ichinose not because he thinks she was innocent, but because he completely forgot she existed. That's funny. Because, yeah, I guess she didn't show up that much, right? Like, I don't know, she was so obviously evil, and, I love Kira Buckland, I adore Kira Buckland, but, like, I can't think of a time she's ever played a nicey nice character and not been disingenuous in some way. It's just not her style. So the second I see this lady who conveniently has ties to Iron Man, and is talking in the Kira Buckland nicey nice voice, I'm just like, oh, you fucking evil. 1 second. Tommy, do you want out, honey? I forgot you were down here. He's been as tired as I've been.
Come on, honey. Tommy! Go, go, go.
So, I mean a total bitch? I mean a total bitch. Never forgave Ichinose? I will never forgive Ichinose. She is a terrible, terrible antagonist who should be rotting in jail. But because of magic, that can't happen. Hey, Fusion. We just started. You haven't missed anything.
She was therefore deemed unfit to appear as a witness in today's proceedings.
Like I don't. She wouldn't have helped us. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck Strongheart is doing to these guys to inspire such loyalty. But I don't see any of them throwing him under the bus. Courtney wouldn't even fucking answer more questions about the last case. Never mind this shit. So criminals can prosecute but can't appear as witnesses. You got it!
The Ministry of Justice's decision on that is final.
This is a fucking kangaroo court. That is not a fucking judge stand. That is a drumhead.
Well, we wouldn't want any more perjury to be committed now, would we?
Yeah, enough of that to go around already, I think. Who's worse, Ichinose, Alice Yeek, or all of Kamen Rider Saber? That's not really a... I mean, all of Kamen Riders, that's a show, not a character. As funny as it is to compare Saber to other stuff, I can't say. The answer is, I don't know, like... I'm not gonna be able to answer that without pissing off Persona 5's fanbase, because I was gonna make a comment about Yeek being immature and I expect it to be bad. But also Persona 5 is a lot more childish and immaturely written than its fanbase thinks it is. Shamspear? Oh yeah, Shamspear's the worst, that's right, yeah. Shamspear ruined Olive's life. Yeah, fuck him. Ah, sorry, I'm fixing my hair. Ministry of Justice. Some questionable strings are being pulled, I think. I can't imagine why.
I remember you, Dr. Miko Toba. I certainly never expected to be meeting you under these circumstances.
We're not bringing back Shamspear. He's fucking dead and he's never coming back. Do you want Brushel? I could put Brushel back on the screen. The exact opposite of a Shamspear. Got your packet of Cheez-Its, Monado? Nice.
It's been a long while, Lord Strongheart.
The prosecution understands that you were a visiting student of forensic science in London until 10 years ago.
That's right, I studied under Dr. Wilson at St. Sinners.
Shamspear is probably not dead. He is probably not... If he is getting the death penalty, he has probably not gotten it yet. But he definitely went to jail. And I choose to believe that he got shanked day one, and then somehow abducted from the prison and ended up in a California chain gang, and is now dead. It makes no sense. California doesn't even exist right now. But let me dream. It's all I have!
So you were present at the autopsy of my brother, Lord Von Zeeks. Lord Clint Von Zeeks, I should distinguish. We're both Lord Von Zeeks. I was, yes, I assisted Dr. Wilson with the entire procedure.
Mama is far more skilled than any Japanese man.
Maria, what the fuck, girl? You're supposed to be better than that. I'll see you after class, young lady. Speaking of California, your state is forcing children of pre-12th grade to take the vaccine. Good. Is California a thing? My bad. I don't know history. Despite the fact that in elementary school, I was actually required to participate in a history bee. Because I accidentally did too good on some random questions they asked. Gold Rush? I remember what fucking year the Gold Rush happened.
I don't know.
I don't get paid to remember history. I don't get paid from anything.
Dr. Wilson asked me to be his primary assistant on that occasion.
And this autopsy report was actually penned by you, I believe.
Yes, I noted all the doctor's findings. When we were done, he read through the document and signed it.
Poor Mama, the secondary assistant. She wouldn't have had such a good view of all the innards. Truly the greatest tragedy.
So, Professor, do you remember Inspector Gregson?
Unfortunately, yes, of course. If it wasn't for his insistence, Lord Von Zeek's autopsy never would have happened. But he was absolutely convinced that it would reveal decisive evidence against Genshin, you see.
Evidence against Genshin? You need more besides the shitty anniversary rewards? Badumps! I made myself sad.
So Lord Strongheart had to entreat the nobility to allow it to take place. Do correct me if I'm wrong, my lord.
It was as a result of that autopsy that a mass murderer was apprehended and justice was done.
But Gregson admitted to it before he was killed. He admitted that the results of the autopsy were fabricated. Yeah, how did this happen under your watch? I guess maybe as Wilson was performing the autopsy, he was feeding him fake info. Or then again, no, like I said, I'm pretty sure that the autopsy is actually accurate. It's just that he didn't kill everyone. Hi, Mariel. I don't know. I'm not sure where we're going from here. You might be just in time. You're skipping Survivor for this? Oh, you watched Survivor, Ren? Oh my god, you're old me. I used to be addicted to that shit, and Big Brother. I don't watch it anymore. It hurts my brain too much. I'm so fucking sick of white people problems that I just don't care. I just have to tune it all out like, ah! Stop arguing with each other! You were there at the time. You must testify. You have an obligation to tell the truth about what really went on.
Absolutely. That's precisely why I'm here.
And that's why I'm here too!
Very well then, I will give you formal testimony now, witness. But before you begin, a word of warning.
Oh?
You like watching people being stupid? I do too, in small doses, but like just Survivor and all that stuff got to be a bit much for me. It's like, I'd rather watch Karate Bugman.
You will state truthfully and accurately what you saw and what you heard at the time.
Big Brother in particular, like, good God, like the amount of rigging and obvious favoritism from the producers and the fucking racist-ass complete piece of shit contestants that they would try to sell as being likable on the actual show version, because I would watch the live feeds with Big Brother. Like, I know what those people were actually like. Good fucking God. Fuck 90% of the people who have ever stepped foot in that house over the last 5 years or so. But, ugh. Speaking of Genshin, yeah, the NA Andy U server, you pulled Kokomi on the EU side. Ooh, nice. And got Chi-Chi. Delicious. This is why you'll never watch Big Brother? Yeah, don't. It's bad for the brain cells. Survivor's at least passable. I just got kind of sick of it.
I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise, my lord.
The moment your testimony verges on supposition, I will expel you from my courtroom. Remember that.
I'm a bad person and hate Total Drama Island, too. Would Kamen Rider Ryuki just be Japanese Survivor Taken 2, literally? No. No, that's giving it too much credit. I refuse to give it that much credit. Nah, Ryuki is Battle Royale. Ryuki is clearly Battle Royale inspired. I don't know if Survivor was even on the air at the time Ryuki was a thing. I forget what year that came out.
From my own observations, I couldn't say there was any indication the autopsy results having been fabricated. Death resulted from a wound made by a Western-style sword transfixing the heart. Then I found a little strange.
There were no questionable. There were no other signs of internal injury. Nothing questionable at all.
Genshin gave out 1,600 gems and a random house item. Oh, it's not random, pup. You know what that is? I don't think I've talked about this on stream at all. Yeah, Genshin ended up giving out some more rewards for the anniversary. 1,600 extra gems, which, you know, one whole extra 10 pull. And then the other stuff they gave out besides the Fragile Resin, you wanna know what that shit actually was? It was part of a bundle. They were originally planning to announce it as a paid bundle in collaboration with the concert they're putting on. It was gonna cost $30. $30 for a pair of wings, the furniture thing, and a name card. And instead they changed it very, very last minute to be free. To try and fucking sweep this shit under the rug. And it seems to have worked for a majority of the people who were complaining. They fail to see the bigger picture! They are small and they think in small terms! We didn't even get the name card. Fucking 4 fragile resin. That's fucking nothing when you're AR 50 or above. Like, good God.
It was just that beautiful but dangerous piece of evidence removed from the man's stomach.
Presumed to have been swallowed by the victim as a way of posthumously identifying his assassin.
Okay. Nothing to suggest fabrication! Professor Mikotoba, are you certain about that? I believe him. Yeah, it's the name. Yeah, they still sell the name card only, but it's still $30. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Yeah, no, I actually believe him. Like, if I'm completely off base in my thinking of how the situation possibly actually went, then it's possible that Wilson was just, you know, completely fucking about and then just feeding him false info, making it look like he was doing, you know, an actual autopsy. But, no, I think this is actually accurate. It's just that for whatever reason, they took a victim dying of a sword wound as definitive evidence that he was a murderer whose primary method was a dog. How many rounds of artifact grinding does one resin give you? The fragile resin the stuff, or the condensed resin, the stuff they gave out. Condensed resin would give, 4 condensed resin would be 4 rounds of artifact domains. Just 4. And they'd be double rewards, but still. 4, that's it. Dogen Ancestor? Yes, actually, kind of. The professor, that is his killing method. Which is fucked up. You got Wolf's Gravestone, Rick? Hey, very nice. Only Claymore character uses Noel. It's good on Noel. I don't think it's quite as good as Serpent's Spine, but it's pretty good on her. It's a good all-around 5-star Claymore. If you ever get anyone else who needs it, like if you get Razor at some point, or use Razor at some point. I'm still so mad they put the fucking Jade Cutter on the shitty donut banner. I would love a goddamn Jade Cutter, but I just can't risk it. It's very good on Yola, can confirm. I use it on her. Although I've replaced it with a fish right now, because the fish is funny.
Well, nothing I could possibly identify as such, much less swear to with testimony. Oh!
He is so trustworthy.
Mine is an evil laugh. The only fabrication here, Asogi, has come from you.
What?
You claim Inspector confessed just before his death, but that is the fabrication.
No, he freely acknowledged it, I swear he did.
Freely, with the tip of a sword at his throat. The man was clearly at wit's end.
Jade with Kashing is really good, excited to level up to max soon. I'm so jealous, JC. You're lucky.
The cult will give no credence to this confession that was uttered in obvious desperation. Quite simply, there was nothing questionable about the investigation of Lord Clint Von Zink's death. And with this testimony, we have, without question, uncovered the whole truth of the matter. Case closed.
Use him if you got him. All it takes is 1,000 bits, I think, to use him. He is the cheapest one.
If I may, my lord.
Shameless shilling. I need money. I need money to afford Gojo and or possibly Nia figures.
If I may, my lord. There was most certainly something questionable about it, and the whole truth does rather elude us, I feel.
PC comes first, or PC. Either or, gotta start somewhere.
I beg your pardon.
Believe me, no one wants that new PC more than me. Kibo is overheating more and more, and it scares me. It scares me desperately.
Well, you're obviously aware of the facts. All 4 of the professor's previous victims died when an enormous beast was set upon them and ripped out their throats.
Oh, such horrifying crimes.
But curiously, the killer's last victim, Clint Von Zieks, suffered a different fate.
Follower emotes exist? I don't think I have any of those enabled. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know how to set that up. You sure that's not a partner-only thing? I didn't see any kind of option for that, S2. Yes, you're right. He was stabbed through the heart with a sword?
That's enough.
Kelsey City.
Did you fuck my mother and Asogi's father?
Blink, please? No.
I believe I warned you about this witness.
It should be available for affiliates. I have access to no such thing. I've literally never heard of such a thing as follower emotes. Not downing you, but like that does not sound quite right.
I promise to curtail your testimony as soon as it enters the realms of supposition or speculation.
Very well, my lord. In that case, the defense will pursue a conclusion of this during the cross-examination.
What?
Get some ice, Ren, if it hurts that bad. Take some Advil. I have the right to cross-examine every witness after their testimony. And I fully intend to exercise that right.
Ryunosuke.
I'm afraid that even the presiding judge has no authority to contravene the letter of the law. And I'm sure every member of the judiciary present in the gallery would agree.
Harumph!
Can I get a harumph in here?
Very well, you may begin, counsel. However, the moment your argument strays from the established facts, I will not hesitate to bring the cross-examination to an end. Proceed with caution.
Is that a threat?
Oops.
Is that a threat for if I fuck up too much? Ever heard of the shitty pay-to-win booster streams? Basically, using real money to boost the stream, but the catch is all the money goes to Amazon, not the streamer. Is that really a thing? Oh my god. That's fucked up. Is that the new thing? I think somebody in the Discord posted like something like that, where you can like pay real money for Twitch to advertise a streamer more. Is that the thing? I thought that was new, or is this something else that's always been around? Either way, if that's how it actually works, that's fucked up. Jesus. Like, yeah, if you're gonna like paying real money to like for advertising essentially is a good idea in theory. But like if they take a huge cut out of it or do shit like that, like why would you, if you're planning on dropping money, why would you just not actually, you know, make sure it gets to the people it's supposed to be going to? God damn. Yes, my lord.
I won't hesitate, bitch!
Yeah, I don't know how to disprove this. It's a concept being considered in Twitch, at Twitch, where people are pissed, understandably so. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to deal with this, because I think like I said, I believe him.
Hold it!
Nothing at all? But you weren't actually present at the time of the autopsy yourself, were you, Dr. Gory?
Does that matter?
Well, yeah, kind of. I just wonder how useful your testimony can be in that case, really. Hey, yo, Dusk, how's it going? I mean, it'd be different with your mom, Dr. Scythe, in the stand, but...
I've ran all the paperwork on the case, and Mama's told me the story countless times, and she'd be here right now if someone hadn't put her in jail! The statement I just made is exactly what's written on the autopsy report.
I did confirm myself at the time, that's true. Besides the stab wound, there were no other signs of internal trauma.
I see.
Mama told me all about it.
Oh?
She said there was nothing of note internally. But they did find an amazing piece of evidence. Something unbelievable.
Unbelievable? What do you mean?
Come on, Dr. Boy, what was it?
A core crystal! It has Cassandra in it.
Hold it!
What exactly was it, though? What does beautiful but dangerous mean?
Well, it was sparkly and round with the holes. It might slip over with a fingertip, perhaps.
It was a ring belonging to Genshin Asogi.
Oh, okay.
My father's ring was inside the victim's stomach.
How the fuck? Was there a really, really horrible... Was there some kind of fucked up fisting accident? That went horribly, horribly wrong? Or more. Or just added to the more counter. Either way, he sucked on his finger real hard. He went a little too deep, that's what I'm saying. Oh no.
At the time, Genshin wore a large ring on the digitus quartus of his left hand, the fourth or ring finger.
Rings are pretty small, stop with the sex stuff. But the game makes it so easy. What's with the game? What's with people smelling pictures for like beat exceeding the poison class? Good god.
I understood it was some sort of keepsake.
When my father left for Japan 16 years ago, I was 8 years old. But I remember that ring. You do? My father's possessions were sent to our family home in Japan after his death, but the ring wasn't among them.
Obviously not. It was a key piece of evidence. It remains under lock and key in the stores at Scotland Yard to this day.
After the autopsy, Genshin was summoned by the police to check for a presence of his ring. It wasn't on his hand, of course. Moreover, there were deep abrasions on his finger where it had been pulled off.
The follower email thing is in live stream chat. Like I said, S2, you can say it's a thing as much as you want, but it's not on my creator dashboard. I'm literally looking right at it. It's just not a thing that I have access to.
They arrested the man then and there, right before my eyes. How could they?
I bought the ring along with me today.
Also, don't take this the wrong way, S2, but so quite frankly, even if I could figure out how to make it work, it's kind of the same situation with the custom emo thing, where people could exploit those and still use those. Like, I like the idea of, I want more people to be able to use them, don't get me wrong. But right now, I'm very small time and I need revenue. Emotes are one of the only ways I have to incentivize people into subbing or dropping bits. So I kind of have to keep that exclusive to at least a degree. I try to keep it as low as possible. Like I said, there's a reason Lang's the lowest tier bit emote, but just in general, like I can't screw myself over until I can actually make decent money off of doing this. Digital Devil Saga, man, it was a trailblazer. Vor is the lore.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
Exactly like that. Oh, Dante, I miss you.
I bought the ring along with me today.
What? Oh, that's pretty.
Here it is, a bit dusty from the years in the stores.
Good gracious, yes, that's it. I haven't seen that in 10 long years. And that was found inside the victim's stomach?
Technically, Vor started with Zestira, but we don't talk about that. Yes, we don't.
I'm afraid so, yes.
You hesitated there, Miss Professor Mikatoba. Should we read something into that?
Well, it's just the thinking back now. I didn't actually witness the moment it was extracted from the victim's body.
Oh my, really?
At that precise moment, Dr. Wilson had asked me to fetch him a new scalpel, you see.
Dr. Gory, the removal of historic evidence from the stores requires my consent, does it not?
Oopsie poopsie!
However came to be here, the court cannot deny that this is crucial evidence for today's proceedings.
Very well, you may submit it.
It's not the sort of ring normally seen in Japan. They almost look like claws protecting that jewel. I was gonna say, was this actually Genshin's? This feels like a fucking royal-ass ring. This feels more like something that the brother would have been wearing.
We must examine it very carefully, Mr. Naruhodo. Very carefully indeed.
Swallowed by the victim. No, I know Kazuma confirmed it was. It's just weird. It's just a very weird design. Get a better look at that thing. We have so much illegal evidence. If this were a modern court, we'd be so fucking screwed. These fat claws are doing a good job of protecting that equally fat gemstone in the middle of this ring.
Yes, if you were clumsy, you could give yourself a rather nasty cut of them, I should think.
Those things are sharper than the fucking toes on my Beelzebub figure, which I did cut my finger on. He's very pointy. The little spikes on his boots, they're so pointy that I actually pricked my finger pretty good trying to pose him. It was painful. Ow! Now my finger's bleeding. These claws are really sharp.
Oh my, that was very quick clumsiness, Mr. Naruhodo, even for you.
Ugh. What makes such a dangerous ring? You couldn't swallow it without doing yourself some fairly serious damage, surely.
A sticky mochi bun about that size would go down much better with some red bean paste in the middle.
Someone as clumsy as me would probably manage to choke on it somehow. Tamers for a group watch? Oh my god. I mean, it's certainly horrifying enough. Okay. Alright. Oh no, shoot, I meant to go back. I got it. I think I got it. That's everything, is it? Poor father, he looks so troubled. Perhaps because 10 years ago, something happened that's been weighing on his mind. Oh. I couldn't say were his words. That phrasing was very deliberate, I'm sure. Wonder if he's had his suspicions all these years. If that's the case, we need to use this cross-examination to prove what really happened. And remove any trace of doubt. If we can establish that Kazuma-sama's claim of fabricated evidence was true, we can't shy away from this now. Even if what we might uncover could lead to total calamity. Don't worry, Mr. Naruhodo, I'll be right beside you. Whatever may happen. Come what may. No other signs of internal injury. Yeah, this would cut up his tummy-tum. It's very pointy.
Objection!
Hey, best. The cortisol of the ring was extracted from the victim's stomach. But you didn't actually see it being removed, did you, Professor Mikotoba?
That's right, as I said in my testimony before. At that moment, I was fetching a replacement scalpel that Dr. Wilson had requested.
In other words, you can neither confirm nor deny whether this ring was in fact really came from the victim's stomach or not.
What are you implying, Counsel?
That the ring was never in the victim's stomach to begin with. It's entirely feasible that Dr. Wilson fabricated that detail about the autopsy.
What are you saying? That Dr. Wilson?
That Dr. Wilson was in possession of the ring in advance, after it was somehow stolen from Mr. Asogi. And he produced it during the procedure, pretending to have found it there and then in the victim's stomach.
Objection!
Supposition at best. What possible evidence do you have to support such a rash claim?
This evidence, right here.
That's the autopsy report.
Don't update it, don't update it, don't update it!
It's explicit in that report, Counsel. Other than the ring, nothing unusual was noted internally, so I'm not sure how you intend to prove your point.
You've already done it for me, my lord. The lack of internal injury says it all.
What?
To swallow a ring of this size would require considerable effort and determination. Or fisting. In addition to its size, there are sharp claws around the gemstone to contend with.
My brother was a determined man on the brink of death, even more so, I'm sure. He would have stopped at nothing to ensure that the evil killer was brought to justice.
But if you had really swallowed that enormous ring, it's inconceivable that it had no traces of passage down his throat. It's inconceivable that no traces of its passage down his throat would have remained as internal trauma.
No! And there you've arrived at the sticking point. That's precisely why I had my doubts about the findings myself 10 years ago.
Then why did you say something at the time?
I did. I still remember the conversation I had with Dr. Wilson in the laboratory that day.
Did he tell you to look at the pretty bunny?
Look at this! Now, this is a very curious thing to find in a man's stomach, wouldn't you say? But isn't that rather peculiar, Dr. Wilson? What's that now, Mikotoba? Well, if he swallowed a ring of that size with those sharp metal claws it has, surely you'd expect to see damage to the throat and esophagus. Torn mucous membranes at the very least. Look at the pretty bunny! Look at the pretty bunny! Dr. Toba, may I remind you that I have a vastly more experience than you.
Literally look at the pretty bunny.
I'm terribly sorry.
We officially have a pretty bunny emote in the Discord. Because it just happened to line up very well with the character in build. We don't have it here yet, sadly. One day, maybe.
I can think of plenty of ways to explain why no injuries would be seen. No, let's say this. The victim would appear to have ingested the item as evidence to identify his assailant. Go ahead, write it down.
Build last night was fun? Oh yeah, it was. It makes me feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes, but but it's been fun.
So I was right. Dr. Wilson deliberately fabricated the results of the autopsy to implicate my father.
I'm disappointed, Counsel. That argument is nothing more than speculation.
What?
Dr. Wilson was Britain's leading authority on forensic science and autopsy work. There is no scientific basis on which to doubt the man's expert opinion.
Pardon the interruption, my lord, but damage to the mucous membranes of the throat is easily identified, even in living subjects.
Using a device called an endoscope recently demonstrated in practical use in France. I want one! The government can pay. Give me money.
I don't think so.
Damn it! That usually works!
And Dr. Gory, rest assured that your removal of evidence from the stores without permission will not go unpunished.
Come at me, bruh! I'm not afraid to die! Joke's on you, I'm into that shit! We open up the dead to find the truth.
I beg your pardon.
But Mama, she chose to stitch her corpses up with all her secrets inside. Little fucked up even for me. That was wrong.
Dr. Gory, looking as though she's chosen to walk a different path to her mama. Oh, she's a good girl.
Yes, the ring. What about the ring? I've just remembered something. An earlier incident.
What incident?
The one I recounted to you before. About a memory I have. Of Genshin Asogi saving my life.
What? My father saved your life? That's impossible!
10 years ago on a dark and stormy night, walking down some back streets at a late hour. Don't ask why. Surprisingly, it did not end well.
Don't make a peep, you're coming with us.
He then made out with my brother. It was very awkward. I did not wish to be a third wheel, so I left. All of our assailants were armed with pistols, their faces obscured by scarves. The next thing I knew, there was silence all around.
How many progress keys you get from Mandrake for only $50, not counting shipping? Yeah. Like I said, Mandrake's good. I don't know what was up with the shipping estimate they gave you, but normally they're pretty good.
Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He shielded me. It was on the ring finger of his left hand that he used to wear that ring.
Are you saying?
I've always believed those thugs were after me. But now I'm starting to question if perhaps I wasn't the intended target after all.
Wait, but...
Genshin was arrested 2 days after that attack. And in that short interval, the decisive evidence needed to indict him was miraculously found.
You mean the ring was stolen from him? You think that's what those thugs were after that night? Oh.
Objection!
Okay. Kazuma, honey, it's not that big a deal. Kazuma, the world is gray. I get it. But Von Zieks is clearly not a bad dude, my dude.
You pathetic coward! You expect me to believe you weren't involved? What do you mean by that? It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who took it. You stole my father's ring. You set the whole thing up so you could paint him as a mass murderer and have him arrested.
Kazuma! I'm gonna need you to do me a solid and pull your head out of your anus. And open your goddamn motherfucking dingly-dong eyes! Ryunosuke? You must know deep down. The truth can be completely obscured even when your judgment is only slightly clouded. But at the moment, you seem to be floundering through a dense fog. Ryuki progress wreath for $3? Goddamn. Is that why you were so insistent I should be present in this trial? To see you like this? To see you cry like a little bitch? If you think this is gonna impress me and sway me away from Von Zeeks, you're sorely mistaken. I need a real man.
Wow, he is so trustworthy.
What a grandiose expression on your face. As if you were Lady Justice herself. Hello, MD. I am an extremely trustworthy individual. It seems you thoroughly convinced yourself of this alleged fabrication of the autopsy results. So much so that you're apparently blind to the blatant contradiction that would be born out of it.
What?
Though it's extremely hard to believe, let us imagine that there was some misconduct during the autopsy. If that were the case, why would Asogi not have disputed the findings in this trial?
I don't know, you tell me. Why the fuck did you guys help cover up the fact that he wasn't actually executed afterwards? Did you have some kind of agreement? That he'd take the fall, but you'd let him go free and go back to Japan? And then some other bullshit happened? There was a second gunman on the grassy knoll? Like, what up? I will get some sip. Thank you, Mariel.
In the closed court hearing 10 years ago, the defendant never once denied the claims against him. Isn't that right, Lord Von Zeeks?
I'd be very curious to see the actual court record of that trial. And listen to his phrasing every single time. See if he was very consistent, like, yes, I killed Clint, but no one else.
Yes, that is indeed correct. Upon hearing the verdict of guilty, he merely closed his eyes, quietly accepting the judgment. The actions of a man who would accept the responsibility for his deeds and resign to his fate.
You got a headache now, Ren? Oh no. Do you have anything you can take for it? Advil, ibuprofen, something.
But then... Oh my, this is very strange. If Mr. Soki did nothing to oppose the charges against him, then... that would surely mean there was no fabricated evidence.
That's not what that means at all.
An obvious conclusion at which you should have arrived many minutes ago, Prosecutor Asogi. Your twisted loyalty and clouded judgment hampering your ability for logical thought.
Rude.
Genshin Asogi's silence at his hearing can only mean one thing. We deserve more primo gems, and also that there was no fabrication of evidence during the autopsy of his final victim 10 years ago. Ah!
I also have a headache, but if that autopsy was all above board, there'll be nothing left to stop Lord Strongheart from bringing this trial to an immediate conclusion.
Objection.
Thank you, Ryunosuke. If it wasn't for your frank words just now, this trial may very well have ended prematurely. Kazuma, it's okay. I hear that happens to a lot of guys.
What's this latest absurdity, Counsel?
My lord, this is bullshit blazing. Your logic is perfectly sound, but for one giant hole.
I beg your pardon.
You claim my father's silence was due to the fact that there was no fabricated evidence. But there's another possible explanation. Yeah, people never get threatened, or coerced, or have their family threatened into taking responsibility for shit they didn't do. You've overlooked the possibility that he had a reason for maintaining that silence.
Objection!
Silence that would lead to him being convicted and sent to his death? If the autopsy results were an invention, There's no conceivable reason why the man wouldn't have protested.
Von Zeeks, honey, some things are worse than death.
Objection!
Like the things I would do to Shamspear, while the jury turned a blind eye.
Oh, those results were an invention, all right. There's no question of that. Or are you forgetting that two people with a connection to that autopsy have been assassinated?
Or the Genshin anniversary.
If I force the grievances I feel for my mind, I start to see you in a very different light. I think perhaps it's you who's been living in delusion these 10 years. Me?
Kasuba-sama has created one last chance for us here, Mr. Naruhodo. If we can only show the reason for his father's silence in that trial.
A reason why the man would have said nothing even though he was innocent. Could have been part of some negotiation, perhaps.
Enough rhetoric! The court must be shown evidence. What proof do you have that could possibly explain his silence in court?
Oh boy. God, once again, if none of this is actually going to be relevant anyway, I really wish that they had emptied out our inventory. After, you know, at least case 4. Or after we were done with Jigoku, at least. Because yeah, it's just cluttered at this point. Like, this is basically telling as much, that he had no intention of testifying from the very beginning. I don't know if that's acceptable evidence or not, because it still doesn't tell us why he was so resigned to it. Besides the fact that he probably actually did kill Clint. But, we'll try it.
Take that!
This is the defense's answer to that question.
You fucking suck! Get the hell out of my office!
It's not an office. It's a courthouse.
This is my office, and the juror's table is my toilet. I shit on all of you. I am the law.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna assume this. Because it's the same thing Ryunosuke was just speculating on. Yeah, that like clearly something was going on behind the scenes, even if not for the fact. I do think he killed Clint, but like on top of it, like something was fucking up. I don't know what. I don't know why the hell he would probably only kill Clint and be set up as the fall guy for the other murders. But then have them help him, but then have them also shoot him after he came back out from his grave. But that's all I got for now. That would make me laugh more than it should have, but no. Toilet humor is funny sometimes. It's true that Genshin Hisoki's silence during his trial resulted in his conviction. But that didn't actually lead to his execution. On the contrary, it led to his escape. An escape that was only possible because he'd been sentenced to death. Although I find it hard to believe my father would have negotiated in that way, the defense is correct. A fake execution, falsification of a death certificate, and a jailbreak inside of a coffin. Clearly such an elaborate plan couldn't have been carried out by my father alone. He must have had the help of a collaborator from the judiciary. I have here the dismissal notice of the chief warder who was working in the prison at the time. The notes read, there are indications that the jailbreak was in planning prior to the inmate's incarceration. In other words, there were suggestions of some sort of negotiation between Mr. Asogi and the British government. In exchange for his silence in court, he was given an assurance that he would be broken out of prison. Yes, with that sort of clandestine agreement in place, I can imagine he would have kept very quiet. I would go further than that, in fact. I would say that the elaborate jailbreak of Mr. Asogi can be explained in no other way.
Order! First fabricated evidence and now a jailbreak conspiracy.
Of course, because it's all intimately linked. The prosecution wishes to summon a new witness to the stand.
Witnesses!
People who can testify about the jailbreak that took place 10 years ago.
Governor Caden? And the poor chief warder of the prison?
Please, please, please don't make me trigger Virgil's PTSD again. Please. I'm not a fan.
I won't allow this trial to turn into a farce. Just summon the governor of the prison after all these years.
Oh, it wouldn't be any trouble, my lord.
What?
Father?
My dear friend may appear to be a little rattle-pated at times, but I can assure you he is extremely thorough. He wired both Barclay and the local prison earlier. Asking Governor Cade and Mr. Mitchell to attend the Old Bailey is a matter of extreme urgency.
Mr. Sholmes did that? He was able to come down from his high long enough to do that?
Are you telling me that?
Both men are, unless I'm much mistaken, waiting just outside the courtroom at this very moment.
My lord, you must permit this trial to proceed as you declared at its outset. You promised that we would stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
I don't like you. Very well, bring in the witnesses. Make no mistake that I too would like nothing more than to lay this business to rest once and for all.
Oh good, I get to insult I get to insult all of Scotland again. Yay. Would the new witnesses state their names and occupations for the court, please?
I am Medicaid in Governor Barclay Prison.
Everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to pass. Wrong persona. Did somebody fucking say persona? No! Literal personas! If you don't mind.
Oh, I do beg your pardon. Of course.
My name is Daily Vigil. I used to be the chief warder at Barclay Prison. The reason you've been summoned here to court today is to testify about the jailbreak of the so-called professor 10 years ago.
Lords, the professor! We only been through all this before a decade ago. And the conclusion was that there was anything untoward what happened. I'm Scottish. Ogres have lairs.
A convict's escape your prison, Governor. Hardly what you would call nothing untoward.
Ah, well.
The convict's death certificate was somehow falsified after he was allegedly executed. And he escaped the prison inside his own coffin. A plan of that complexity could never have been carried out without the help of somebody of influence inside the prison. Governor Caden, don't imagine the passage of time will afford you any protection. Did the statute of limitations not exist yet? Or does it just not apply here? He's playing 10D chess with the mechanics of D&D and a bit of Sudoku. I'm still mad at him. I don't care. When part of that 10D chess Doku D&D plan, when part of it involves cheating on us, like the whore that he is, no, I'm not interested. He's like Tetsuya Nomura. Like, I don't care how smart you think you are. I'm not interested. You're not being clever. It turns out that you were involved in the plot to break Mr. Asogi out of your prison, and of course,
the consequences will be very serious. In all likelihood, a capital punishment. Guards! Hold on there, laddie. All I did was...
Witness? Governor Caden?
Oh, yes, sir! I totally wasn't about to throw you under the bus.
You have a critical role to play in the public safety of our country. A great responsibility to shoulder. The significance of your testimony in court cannot be understated. Therefore, think carefully before you speak. And Prosecutor Asoki, if you threaten the witness again, you will be held in contempt of court.
Did you think we were dating? There was too much innuendo. I refuse. I refuse to believe that we were played. No, Sholmes is just a man whore. He came on to us, repeatedly. My apologies, my lord. There's no disputing the fact that an intricate jailbreak plot was enacted 10 years ago. Clearly you were both involved in some way. So you will testify to the court now and explain exactly what took place.
Very well, let the witnesses give their formal testimony. Tell the court everything you know of the plot to break Asogi out of Barclay 10 years ago.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, am I broken? Oh no, I'm broken! Ah! 1 second. Like, comment, subscribe so I can get a new PC and this can stop happening. Fucking faulty USB ports. That's literally all it is. Come on, come back on. Nope. I'm fucking dead. And who can say where the road goes and the day goes? Only time. Come on, come back on. You can do it. You can do it, little webcam. Not for the finale, please. It's not doing it. Bring in Matador. Hopefully it won't come to that. Enjoy Majima Titty for a second. Maybe if I restart it. Maybe. Hey, we good? We good! Hey!
I'm not needed! I have to go now! My planet needs me!
It was that day the Japanese joke was found guilty. Directive came from the prosecutor's office. Assign the convict to the chief warder vigil here. Put the plan into action behind the scenes.
I was responsible for Asogi right up till the night of his execution, but I knew nothing of any plot.
I did not care there were some negotiations between the convict and the prosecutor's office. All I did was carry out my duty for Her Majesty's Great British Empire.
A directive from the prosecutor's office. Are you saying that was the jailbreak plot?
That's right.
Who sent it? Who authorized that plan?
Nobody asked and nobody told. I did not get that.
You're saying you don't know?
I play the fifth, laddie. Not nothing about the professor's case there was it unusual in some way. I did not ask any questions, I just did what I was told to do. More than that, I could not tell you.
I see. But if the jailbreak plan originated from the prosecutor's office, then one thing is very clear. As suspected, there were clandestine dealings going on between Mr. Asogi and that office. The jailbreak was promised in exchange for Mr. Asogi admitting to crimes he didn't commit.
That, counsel, is nothing more than speculation on your part.
I just realized, so wait, this just dawned on me. So fucking Shrek just basically already admitted to being involved somehow in whatever the actual plan was. Does that mean this motherfucker literally pinned it all on Vigil for no goddamn reason? You absolute motherfucker. Unless I'm misconstruing something. Like, what the actual fuck? You needed a fall guy that bad? Fucking Strongheart sucks all of his lackeys' dicks like a fucking champion, and you couldn't take the fall yourself? You had to, like, fucking pin it on some completely unrelated guy? He was a fall guy for the fall guy. You absolute fucking bastards. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Cameron, for boosting the stream. I'm very angry. Oh my fucking god.
So let me ask the defense.
Oh, yes, my lord.
I fail to see how these witnesses have any more pertinent information here.
Thank you, MD, for boosting the stream.
Do you intend to assert your right to a cross-examination?
You can hear the rage. You can tell when I'm actually pissed. I'm not very good at hiding it. You can tell when I'm actually fucking mad. I'm actually fucking mad at Shrek and Company for framing Digital on top of everything else. Like, good fucking god. No goddamn reason you needed a direct fall guy when most of the fucking general public doesn't even realize that there was a jailbreak. Like, what the fuck? Covering your tracks a little too hard on that one, brah. Absolutely, I have no intention of squandering a single opportunity, my lord.
It seems all you Japanese are fiercely tenacious. I love that band. You don't always have to fuck her hard. In fact, sometimes that's not right to do. Very well, counsel, proceed.
Can we get a Kickstarter going to get Gilbert Gottfried to sing some Tenacious D songs? That'd be kind of key now.
Dio has rocked for a long, long time.
Adachi ain't no fucking good twist villain, he ain't. He's way too fucking obvious. He's such a fucking fuckboy. He's a goddamn simp. He kills women for no fucking reason other than boredom. He's a fucking ponce. Fucking hate that guy.
You've been playing Bravely Default? Ooh, nice. I've heard good things about that. Thought he killed him because they didn't want his pee-pee. They basically killed him. He basically killed him because they laughed at his dick. Like, that fucking might as well be it. It's the same fucking principle. He's so awful. Cuba, it's the same voice, Caleb. It's the same shitty Gilbert Gottfried impression. Not sure why the Gilbert Gottfried impression keeps being the voice of final bosses in these games. But hey, it works. So Asoki-san agreed to confess the crimes because he was assured he'd be broken out of prison later. Can't get anything to talk about today, Bess? No worries. It's a slow day.
I really don't think that Kazuma-sama's father would have engaged in such negotiations.
And perhaps they compelled him to agree.
What a terrible thing, using the law to legitimize such underhanded dealings with a desperate man. Only to double-cross him in the end. It's quite the opposite of justice.
Yeah, once again, what was even the point? Again, unless it was like some completely unrelated shooter who shot him after he climbed out of the grave. Like, literally, what was even the point of setting all this up to just kill him afterwards anyway? I can't help a feeling. There's something about this apparent negotiation that doesn't quite add up.
Something doesn't quite add up, Mr. Naruhodo?
No, it doesn't, but I can't quite put my finger on what yet.
Well, in that case, we must keep digging until we identify the problem.
Adachi did it for the lols. That's giving him too much credit. I can't even claim that he's an agent of chaos or whatever. He's not the goddamn Joker. He's literally a fucking Redditor. That's it. He's literally just kind of a simp and a Redditor. That's his motivation. I don't like it. And I love Persona 4 for the record. That's one of my favorite games of all time, but good god. Stupid fucking character. Your brother played and he loved Adachi. Was he a Redditor? Is your brother a Redditor, Caleb? Oh, he liked him before the reveal. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. He is fun to laugh at, if nothing else. He also really liked Goro when he played P5. Oh no. Oh no.
Hold it!
But you've already acknowledged the orders came from the prosecutor's office to arrange for the man's escape. There must have been some sort of negotiation. It's the only goddamn explanation, you fuck.
Aye, well, be that as it may, I did not get anything about it. A witness stand is no place to be telling you what you don't know for sure. I can that much I do.
Then I presume you also know this. Not telling what you don't know is a criminal offense. So you're just following orders, is that it? I'm afraid that won't absolve you of guilt here. A man was still killed illegally, even if he was a condemned criminal. You may very well be found complicit in murder, Governor. So that's what it's to be, is it? Even with the threat of conviction, you won't break your silence. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking here. I don't have an autopsy for Genshin, do I? Yes, Genshin. Cause of death. Dead Chi-Chi emote spam. Yeah, we don't. Not that I think that was. I was just thinking maybe along the lines of if we had something reaffirming the fact that he died getting shot eventually instead of proper execution. To just be like what I'm saying, like why the fuck did you go through all this? We had in Casey, but it was the fake made by Scythe. Okay. The dead Chi-Chi spam is still going? Good! I'm glad. Like, I don't think it's gonna do anything else at this point, but like... they gave us one extra 10 pull, and some stuff they were originally gonna charge $30 for. That's not a solution. That's not what people wanted.
Hold it!
And you say you don't know who actually issued the directive.
Aye, that's right. All I can be sure of is it was official.
But if it was from the prosecutor's office, that narrows down who could have issued it straight away.
And it wasn't me. I cannot even say it was certainly originated from the prosecutor's office.
Even if they give a 5-star, they'd randomize it somehow? Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they would. But still, like, even that. Like, even a random 5-star would still be fucking something. Cost of death, giving 110 pull to your fanbase and supporting your game for a year, and made you literal billionaires. Shake my head. What?
There's no telling where it started. There's a better chance it came from higher up the ladder. Basically, I cannot give you any indication of who was behind it.
I'll try to reach for the ladder that's there. I'll start walking from this point forward. Was this what I expected? Don't even know. You can't be serious.
All we can say for sure is that the order must have come from somebody in authority, I suppose.
I'm not here at all. I don't exist here at all.
And lax to us on the ground as it were, did not bother with little speculation. Just get the job done.
Is this the real me that I've longed for? Wish that was the case.
Hold it!
So, Mr. Fischl, don't know anything about it at all. It's lining up a little too well. I'm a little scared. That's right. My role in the scheme was a That's right. My role in the scheme was a scapegoat. That's right, isn't it, Governor?
Yeah, sorry. Some poor beggar had to take the rap for it.
Why, though? Like I said, you so successfully covered it up that most of the general public didn't even fucking know about it. Or at the very least thought it was a weird urban legend because of Drebber seeing it. Why did you need a fucking fall guy? Thank you for boosting the stream, Rick. Alright then, who else knew about the plan?
We spun away and it landed on you. I'm not the first idea, laddie. My part of the whole business was basically just dealing with the aftermath. But I would not be surprised there are other folk in the prison who had been given similar orders.
So you don't know who else was involved? Janene, thank you.
Aye, that's right, I can tell you. Is that night it actually happened, the person at the reins was Dr. Stevens.
Dr. Courtney Stevens? Due to a driver witnessing it, the police investigated and came to a conclusion that someone else was behind it. God, that's still so fucked up, though. Jet, thank you for boosting. Grandfather comes back on the 4th. I'm so sorry, Beth. It was a good break. Or Dr. Courtney Scythe, as we now know her. Why did I have to get caught up in such a terrible business?
Hold it!
Did you not notice anything unusual happening in the lead up to that night? Oh, everything was unusual. Exception after exception. After all, it was the professor, the man who had terrorized the country as never before with his crimes. In order to hide his identity, he was forced to wear an iron mask over his head. Hideous treatment, by the way. Not cool. My father was a handsome man, and the public deserved to know it.
This was no surprisingly docile for someone who'd been taking the lives of nobles behind the country's nobles.
Being the chief warder, I was the only person permitted to approach his cell. I can still hardly believe that I was duped by my own country. Oh. God damn. I believe you jumped from the window of the governor's office when the jailbreak was blamed on you, didn't you?
Losh, Vigil! I cannot apologize enough! I can't believe that when I accuse someone of a crime they didn't commit and ruin their entire fucking life, they got sad about it! I didn't know! I'm a great character! Fuck me!
No, Governor, I don't believe you can. It won't change what's happened. You can try. You can try by throwing yourself out a window, asshole. See how you fucking like it. What else can you tell us about the situation, Governor Gaydon? Did I press this one already? I've just been pressing everything in order, I think, right? Oh, no, I did get this one. I don't know what I'm looking for, so I'm just pressing everything. I don't know if I'm looking for reactions or what. Barely constrained rage. He is the storm that is approaching. I'm telling, give it time. Look at his fucking clothes. Look at the colors on his clothes. Look at his outfit. His hair's gonna turn white. He's gonna slick it back. Steal one of Cosima's 2 swords. And the music's gonna blare in and he's gonna murder this fucker. Like he deserves. And I'll clap!
Hold it!
Did you carry out the plan in its entirety?
I did everything I could at the time.
As you know, Genshin Asogi was shot dead in Logate Cemetery after the escape. Tell me, was that part of the plan too?
My instructions were to do it, getting the jock out of the jail, nothing more. I cannot tell you anything about what happened after that. Only, personally, I believe his death was the last part of the plan.
There we go. What's wrong, honey?
Excuse me.
That makes no goddamn sense, though! Mr. Vigil, is something wrong? Yes, sir. What can I do for you, sir? He's saluting now? What is this, some sort of Barclay convention?
This prison break is the most ill-conceived strategy I've seen in quite some time. Why let the convict escape execution only to kill him immediately afterwards and then set up set up an innocent man as the fall guy? It is simply nonsensical.
Well, Governor Kate was just saying seemed to upset you. Did it bring something to mind, perhaps? For the last 10 years, I've completely blotted out the memories of that time from my mind. I was betrayed by my superiors in the name of my country. Just as my father was betrayed, it seems. But you see, thinking back now, I really can't imagine the shooting of Mr. Asoki in the cemetery was ever part of the plan. What makes you think that, besides basic common sense? Well, but just doesn't make sense, does it? I love you, Vigil. You two are an ancestor of Brushel, I choose to believe. He's got the brain cells. What a good boy.
To make the man admit to crimes he didn't commit with the promise of a jailbreak only to kill him in the end?
This Vigil seems like an honorable man. It stands to reason that he would be reincarnated in his next life as someone of even more considerable standing. Well deserved, I say.
Olive Vigil, but he's married. He is married. He's married to Shipper Lady, who seems like a lovely lady. He's fine. How many people had to work to make the perfect being, Brushel? Oh my god. I prefer to think of it as just a long line of just perfectly arranged marriages and perfect genes intermingling with each other. But I guess that could have also happened.
The treachery of the worst kind. The boyness of the intention was always to betray him. Why would there be any need for all the, chicaneries of an escape?
Huh.
Yes, that's quite true. Gee, I never thought of it like that.
Brushel just walked out of the primordial ooze. Already grown. He is an angel. He's not human.
If whoever negotiated with the Soki never intended to keep his or her end of the bargain, it would have been far simpler just to let the man be executed in prison as dictated by his sentence. It all happened in that vast chamber of secrets that is Bogley, behind the high prison walls. I suppose nobody knows what really went on in the execution room now. Yes, it's an unsettling mystery, certainly.
Truth be told, there is a wee matter that's never quite made sense to me either. If you believe there was some kind of negotiation on the hand of jailbreak between the Sogi and the buddy at the top.
It's not a matter of believing of it, bruh. You literally told us that's what happened, my dude. What is his testimony? His testimony is so fucking dumb. Literally admitted that there was a collaboration of some kind, then but won't give up the person and claims to, like, not know the full details. Like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? Fucking kangaroo court bullshit.
If Pyra got arrested, I were the defense attorney, I would remind everyone that I'm the greatest JRPG protagonist ever, and they would immediately kneel at the might of my raw chat energy and let her off the hook. Like everyone always does. Hi, Scarlet, just in time for my words of wisdom. Wrong button!
Whoa!
There is no button. Look at the pretty bunny. Moving on. It does not quite add up, does it? Can we kill Rex 2 more times? Oh, always.
Whoa!
Governor Caden, I must insist you explain these doubts you have by amending your formal testimony.
Gods! Go on then. I'm gonna shit on your dreams!
Japanese fella didn't have nothing to bargain with? I was gonna say... Yeah, okay, I was gonna say, wait, where's... I remember something about this being the only weapon he had left. Where the fuck is that? He didn't wrote it literally. He described it that way. Okay. Thank you, JC. We've had so much fucking evidence that's paper lately, and I insist on, like, actually rereading it. Alright. assume that's it. Just in case. What'd you miss, Scarlet? We established the fact the autopsy report could have been forged in some way, actually, despite what I thought. I thought he actually did definitely kill Genshin. Or, did definitely kill, Clint. Which I guess still could be the case, but... Pumpkaboo. Caden, Shrek, he's fucking evil. He was in on the conspiracy with everyone else. He was the actual one who helped orchestrate the jailbreak, and then set up Vigil as the fall guy. For no goddamn reason. He's the reason Vigil fucking tried to kill himself. So yeah, this fuck's dead to me. He literally has a clock that can kill me. He's a prison warder. I could buy him trying to be edgy. I could have bought him just trying to be edgy and actually being like a softy on the inside or whatever, but like this is bullshit. This guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Objection!
Confessing under oath to murders he didn't commit under verbal assurance of being... Confessing under oath to murders he didn't commit on verbal assurance of later being broken out of prison. Genshin Hisogi was taking an incredibly risky gamble. Very true. There was nothing left to stop the British breaking their word and executing behind closed doors anyway. Under normal circumstances, no man would stake his life on a gentleman's agreement like that. Which means that Mr. Hisogi must have had a trump card. Something that guaranteed he wouldn't be betrayed. Some kind of weapon.
Ours! The fella couldn't have possibly had anything like that!
But you know he did, Governor. The Hisogi papers, the name given to the last will and testament of Genshin Hisogi.
Aye!
It turns out Mr. Hisogi was hiding his will in his cell at Barclay. Chief Warder Vigil caught him with it one day.
You squid, get your way wrapped it! I'll not tell you to keep that a secret!
Gee! I can't believe the man you drove to suicide wasn't inclined to fucking keep your goddamn dirty laundry for you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Into the shit pile! Immediately into the shit pile! With fucking Gregson and fucking Adelclown and goddamn the fucking Sham Spear. Fuck you! Piece of fucking garbage! You can't touch me now!
Ah!
It's the exact animation Gregson did to Skullkin too. Fuck you! When Mr. Vigil caught sight of the will through the bars of the convict cell, Mr. Hisogi pleaded with the warder. All right then, but what's on that paper?
A last will and testament. I'm Sean Connery for some reason.
Did Russian Adelclown? Russian Adelclown did still do everything. Yeah, she did still push him hard enough to like fucking damage his head and give him amnesia on the bedpost. She just lucked out that it didn't actually kill him. She's still a clown, as far as I'm concerned. Is Vigil snap? Please, please. Have his hair turn white. Do it. Do it, Capcom. Don't be cowards. You literally dressed him in the Capcom colors. He's got the cravat. He's got everything. He's so Virgil. He just needs the hair.
A weapon?
And after a convict that had been killed following this elaborate pretense of the jailbreak, that document mysteriously disappeared, didn't it? Well, yes. All the prison warders searched through the belongings in his cell, but that will was just nowhere to be found. As I understand it, an exhaustive search was made for the document, which became known as the Hisogi Papers. Governor Caden, I believe you ordered your prison staff to find it at all costs, didn't you?
Aye?
Would I be right in saying that you knew? You knew that the so-called Hisogi Papers had the potential to make great waves somehow.
Jigs! What in blazes are you blathering about? The will was found, right and proper. In this fellow's cell where I said it would be.
But how can that be? Where in his cell? We searched all the place from top to bottom. Fucking keep laying a hand on him, asshole. Jesus fucking Christ. Just stab you in the fucking eyeballs and slurp out the ocular jelly with a straw.
I did a proper job here, you wee palawangalu.
You can't criticize me now!
I showed it to you for did I know you're non-lawyer.
Yes, you did. I have the document right here. It's written in Japanese and reads the last will and testament of Genshin Asogi. Vigil's wife about to beat the shit out of him. And I'll help.
Which means everything is as it should be.
Not quite, my lord. You see, there's an undeniable inconsistency here. What? What inconsistency? Mr. Asogi described this document as the only weapon he had left. And yet, this will contains nothing of significance at all. Nothing that would have given the convict any leverage.
Are you suggesting, my learned friend, that the last will and testament stored at Barclay Prison all these years is actually a fake? It's a fake.
As has clearly been demonstrated here already, what went on at Barclay Prison was far from above board. In other extreme understatements, Hitler was a dork.
The last vilification by the defense was an affront to the entire British legal system. The absurd notion of a weapon is something for which we only have the former Chief Warder's word. That man could quite easily be lying, or at the very least sorely mistaken.
What? No, I definitely heard him say it, I swear! He has literally no reason to lie at this point, bro. His life's already been fucking ruined by you pieces of shit. Wasn't Hitler an artist? Probably. That's pretty dorky. Or was it a street performer? I believe he was a clown or a mime in his spare time. Hitler in clown makeup or mime makeup? That seems right, right? Yeah, he totally did that.
Clearly, we need to get to the bottom of this.
We need to know exactly what happened with these so-called Asogi papers.
A waste of time. If the will was fake, where is the real document?
Objection.
Yeah, he was an artist who failed, so he became a clown instead. Mr. Vigil was stabbed in the back by the judiciary 10 years ago. He lost everything, very nearly his own life. And now you're going to do it again. You're ready to brand him a liar and turn your back on him without even letting him defend himself? It's clear that Barclay Prison's hiding something.
It's clear that Gilbert was masterminded by somebody in the prosecutor's office.
I love Chad Runo, he's so good. Curse some illicit negotiations to my chip got close up in some reprehensible mix.
What did you say? No, seriously, you all talk too fast. Stop skipping text boxes. I can't read that fast.
Stand up and testify, testify. Do we eat Caden's kneecaps? No, I don't eat junk food. I don't eat fucking garbage. I step on it or burn it. We take the kneecaps off and then we burn them while he watches.
It would seem there are a vocal few here who are utterly blind to the truth. Very well then, let the witness testify again. Tell the court precisely what you think you saw at the convict's last will and testament.
Yes. Yes, sir, my lord. I mean, I don't think he actually let you read it, did he? I'm not sure how much more you can elaborate other than giving us a hint where it might actually be. As the warder responsible for condemned convicts, I attended to Mr. Soki and kept watch over his cell. The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will in his cell. Another reaction? Okay. I kind of thought it might be something like that. Because, yeah, like, I doubt Asogi would have showed it to him afterwards. So I have to assume it's just some hint as to where the hell the thing could actually be. Which I'm gonna guess might be inside the sword somehow. Because, you know, that'd be kind of raw. But we'll see. We turned the cell inside and out looking for it after the execution, but to no avail.
I only found out about the Asogi papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of the fellow's robe that was left in his cell. A kimono, I think it was called. In his kimono? That's a lie! We searched every inch of the man's cell. We looked through all his clothes. It can't be true. Well, you're not satisfied with calling me a liar once, say you wee finger. Stop making up words. You don't sound smart. You just sound fucking stupid. There's nothing you can do about it now. You don't hold any power over me anymore. Other than to hold you like to get my cravat, of course. Is that what you're gonna do? Is it? Are you gonna give me a good shake again? I'll do it myself. Or are you too scared, you fucking pansy? Wiggle to establish dominance. What a fucking Chad. Sing Caden's funeral song? Okay, what would I play at what would I play at Caden's funeral? Gonna choke me? Joke's on you, I'm into that shit. Trying to boost the stream. I think he can only do it once, Jet. We need other people to do it. Oh god, I literally had a song and then I lost it. God fucking damn it. Curse my peanut brain. What's a happy song? Five Nights at Freddy's song? No. I don't even know any of those. Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows everywhere. That's wonderful, is what I see when we're together. Brighter than a lucky penny in it. I don't know the words, actually. Fuck. Oh my god, I don't know anything anymore. Ah! My brain is melting! Little and Large, what a double act. You get the idea. Happy music.
We compiled with Asogi's will as far as was possible. All of his personal effects were delivered to his family home in Japan. As a courtesy to the homeland of the most notorious killer our country has ever seen.
And we were much obliged. I can confirm that all of my father's belongings arrived safely. You cannot deny the handwriting of your own man, eh? Yes, there's no mistaking that it's my father's brushwork. Really?
And this last will and testament was the man's last weapon, was it? I think we can safely assume the convict was merely prattling, knowing his end was nigh.
Ren, thank you. There you go. Not sure how much more we have to go, but hey.
So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Boy. Yes, my lord. Alright, it's gonna be another reaction, so I'm just gonna have to press everything. Hold it! Might as well start from the beginning. Knowing my luck, it'll be the last one again. That's fine. If we don't finish tonight, we don't finish tonight. I'm not too worried about it. That would mean you converse with Mr. Asogi. Yes, certainly. But there was precious little time before his execution was due. He was remarkably calm considering his days were very much numbered. In all honesty, he really didn't strike me as one man capable of mass murder. Yet he confessed in full to the crimes. I know. That's why I felt compelled to ask him one day. I can still recall his reply. I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human's life, yes. Ah! Brains firing! Kazuma, did you finally plug up those holes? And pull that stick out of your ass? But he was so tranquil and intelligent. It put me in mind of an Eastern holy man. And what about the will you saw him with? What can you tell us about that? I was like, is Kazuma actually gonna give us a reaction? I forgot Fonzies was still up there. It was the beginning beginning of the drama. I remember it very well, yes. Hold it!
And he pleaded with you not to report him, didn't he?
Nah, man, I'm just vibing. I need more wine, though.
Yes, that's right.
I like the bumper here. You did not tell me a blatant breach of trust that was.
I could see the man had a noble spirit. I found myself wanting to treat him accordingly. Rainy Ribbit, thank you for visiting the stream.
But according to what you told us 2 days ago, the convict's been strictly forbidden from having any writing materials whatsoever.
Yes, you're quite right. Ah, so what exactly was the will penned? Or when?
That was before the man was remanded in Barclay, obviously.
Yes, at the prosecutor's office under supervision of the relevant authorities. I personally instructed Asogi to make a will for the benefit of his family and his homeland.
In that case, why was it found in his cell? And why was he banned from having writing utensils?
What do you mean by that?
Well, if it was penned at the prosecutor's office, you would have expected it would have remained there for safekeeping, right?
Aye.
We can't forgive those who strangled the JoJo pose. Exactly. Nah. Like I said, this guy very, very quickly escalated up like near the top of my shit list for characters. It's curious. There doesn't seem to be any obvious explanation for why it was subsequently found at the convict cell.
Aye, well.
The defense makes an astute point. Well, Governor.
A prison governor cannot be expected to ken the inner workings of the prosecutor's office.
In that case, Lord Strongheart, perhaps you can shed some light on the matter.
I am unable to offer an explanation here and now.
You mixed up your words there for a bit. You mixed up your words a little. You kind of got you mixed up the L's and R's towards the end there. You know?
Don't fucking judge me! I am the only one allowed to judge.
You still can't fizz for some reason? What the hell? Twitch Mobile, get your shit together.
I would have to consult with the notary responsible for the will at the time.
I find it very hard to believe you guys actually had a fucking notary. The fact that my father's will was discovered in his cell is clearly inconsistent with what it was expected. I want to know why. Another inexplicable mystery, then. Well, the thing about that will...
Hold it!
How thoroughly did you investigate? Like, is there any chance he somehow fucking hit it in the hilt of the sword or some bullshit? It was the governor who ordered the search for the will, I understand, right? Yes, and when I reported back that we couldn't find it, he grabbed me by the cravat and yelled, "It cannot have disappeared completely!" In my face! Like a fuck that he is!
Aye, well, it's done to let the government keep everyone working as hard as they should.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I think the governor needs a wee taste of his own medicine, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, thank God, Stato. Tag team. Alright, you strangle him, I'll do the eye stabbing thing. And slit his tendons. The point is, it was clearly considered a very important document, wasn't it? But it proved impossible to find. That's right. Then before I knew it, it was in the morning paper, the blood-curdling article. The executed mass murderer who'd risen from the dead.
Oh, you mean...
The article based on Mr. Drepper's experience at the Lowgate Cemetery. Yes, that was it. The day after I'd read that news, I was summoned to the governor's office. And that's when the awful accusation was made. That you'd aided his escape from the prison, resulting in your immediate dismissal. I'm afraid I really don't remember anything after that. Stab yourself in the face. It'll be a start.
As the governor of the prison, I had no choice. I could not have done anything else.
You could have actually been a fucking decent human being. You'll take the fall for fucking Strongheart? The actual guy at the heart of the conspiracy? Like, shut the fuck up. God. Choke him with his tie, too good for him. Not painful enough. I'm gonna rip out every follicle of his mustache one by one.
Hold it!
And that directive came from the same source as the one instructing you about the jailbreak.
Aye, from the top levels of the prosecution's office.
What was the name on it?
I did not ken the I didn't know now. All I can tell you is that my orders were to do everything in my power to find that document.
With pliers? Possibly painful enough. Ah, with a knife. It'll take a lot of effort, but I'm willing to take that time.
The director said it had to be somewhere inside the fella's cell.
Document. Was that the wording? Document, not will.
Aye, that's what he said.
Am I clutching at straws here? I just wonder if it was really Genshin Asogi's last will and testament that was said that the center of that director was after. Directive, not director. Continue with the testimony, then, witness.
Hold it!
In Mr. Asogi's kimono.
Aye, the one they brought with him when he was locked up.
Yes, he was permitted to have his personal effects with him during his incarceration. Let Gory do her work on a live one? Oh, there's an idea. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, it's a rare opportunity, operating on a live cadaver. You may think that's a contradiction to terms. Nah, not for this guy, it ain't.
He was granted as much freedom as possible during the few days before his execution.
Indeed, he had a number of items of personal significance, I remember. He was very reluctant to part with them. Some books, that kimono, his sword. His sword? Karuma, the famous sword of the Asogi clan. It bears the soul of my family. I don't doubt it, but I wasn't really getting at that. Forget it being the soul of the clan. Could the man have had a more obvious weapon? Have some respect for you, respectful silence?
Orders carry firearms at all times, and the inmates have shackles around their ankles. He could not hurt anybody with that thing.
Still, he was allowed a sword, but no writing materials.
Aye. He wrote that will before he came to stay with us in Barclay, you see.
Dr. Mikotoba was asked to bring the necessary Japanese writing implements to the prosecutor's office.
Necessary inkstone, black simi ink, and some Hanshi rice paper, no doubt.
I would have been present when he wrote it. But I'm sorry to say, that it just looks like a squirt of a jet black earworms to me.
Was the one you saw in English?
Excuse me.
Did you get a good enough look at it to realize that? Feeling faint again, Mr. Vigil? Mr. Vigil!
Sir! It was Scarlet, sir!
What? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blurt it out like that. It was red ink. Oh. That's a great omen. Less swaying, more explaining would be helpful, sir. You take your time, sweetie.
Is it something about the testimony we just heard? Have you recalled something of importance?
Something of importance? Possibly. Or possibly not.
I'm unable to tell which way he's leaning, I'm afraid.
My lord, the defense asked Mr. Vigil be permitted to supplement his testimony with this possibility or possibly not important detail.
Permission granted.
Go ahead, Mr. Vigil.
Yes, it was Scarlet.
I don't know how this is gonna help us. Because wasn't the whole thing we were arguing over what was the validity of Vigil's testimony? Like, they're saying, oh, we only have his word to go on, that there was a different paper. Karma, the Great Blade. Such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze at it for hours. That's just where the thing broke off. Don't mind me, I'm probably off base with this, because I would think I don't see how there's that many places they could hide it. And then there's stuff like this that's just, obviously it wasn't the same paper.
Hold it!
Scarlet, you say? Well, yes, I mean, I only caught sight of it for a brief moment, of course. But even by the dim light in the cell, I remember thinking it was an unusual color. At the very least, I'm quite sure it wasn't black.
Witness? Please pause your testimony for a moment. I have to use the bathroom. Is that really what you saw?
Sir? Something wrong, Lord Strongheart? Are you triggered because you wanted to find this too? Yeah, oh yeah, no, I have to assume it was written in blood, yeah.
I apologize. Do continue.
What do you make of that, Mr. Naruhodo? For Lord Strongheart to be so visibly shaken that way.
Didn't I ever? You could plainly see it in the air. It's as black as the hell's waistcoat.
Well, yes, you're right. Mr. Vigil, I'd like to confirm one point with you. Did you actually see the content of the document that Mr. Sogi was holding that night? Oh, well, no, I mean, there was no time. As soon as he noticed me there, he hid it behind his back. He just pulls a Simon. He just straight up pulls a Simon and goes outside for a fucking cigarette break. It was definitely a will, was it? Yes, it was. That's what Mr. Sogi told me.
The court need waste no further time on this matter. We have the will in question in our possession. There is nothing more to add.
A will written in scarlet ink. What did Mr. Vigil really see Kazuma's father holding, I wonder?
If you have an inkling, Mr. Naruhodo, you must present it to the court at once.
Doesn't give much away.
So this really was penned by Kazuma-sama's father. Wonder what he could possibly have meant when he described it as a weapon.
Starting to sound very much like Mr. Sogi actually had nothing.
But the plan to break him out of jail went ahead, which means he must have had some bargaining power.
Also an inkling. Ha 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 ha!
Only explanation that makes sense.
Starting to sound like Mr. Sogi might actually have had something.
Which is it, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm not sure, but I feel as though I'm on the brink of understanding all this. Let's learn all the information again, see what more we can learn. And I'm looking in the smallest detail. Okay. So something else with red ink on it. Once again, I really wish they had purged this evidence. That's just gonna take it out of the hilt again, right? I was thinking, like, is this stained with blood? Was this cloth originally red? Nothing else on here. I'll look at this again. I think I'm off base with this, but like I have nothing else. was thinking something with the ring. Because it is fucking huge, and it is red, but no, he wouldn't have had that on him by that point. Gregson, were you smuggling shit? Yeah, I have no idea. We don't exactly have a lot of stuff relating to that. Again. If all that's gonna be important somehow still, feel free to let me know and I'll stop fetching him out of it like, good god. Right now, it's just obnoxious. You forgot what Clint looked like? Oh, yeah. Clint was very pretty. I hope he wasn't fucking evil. It's unfortunately a very real possibility. Want a hint? Is it just fucking this again? Am I overthinking this? Is it just this statement? It's like, hey, this is clearly fucking written in black. But Chad was evil. Child's kind of fucking evil. Do I call Sholmes for assistance? Yeah, I have no idea. Oh. Oh. So what? It was actually his? America, explain. I also, once again, I wish there was an agree, like there wasn't Danganronpa or whatever, because I always feel stupid saying, hey, there was a document written in Scarlet ink, and I'm like, yeah, there was.
Objection.
It's like, that's not how objections work, but okay. Scarlet-colored writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Vigil. And I believe that's exactly what you did see. What? Avarice again! You have no evidence to say that! Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, speak of the fucking devil. Oh, no. Guys, I think Clint might have been fucking evil. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Have a look at this report. We're about to ruin Barack's day. Oh, no. Shit. Why would he have done something like that, though? Like, why would he sign anything admitting to it? Unless he fucking felt bad about it or something. That's I get. Yeah, I'm saying Clint may have been fucking evil, but like, but I mean, I guess assuming he was the one responsible for all the other ones besides himself, like all the people he was killing were apparently assholes, right? So I guess there's some hope. I still wish he'd picked a better method than using a fucking dog as an accessory.
That's my brother's autopsy report.
Yes, and there's something here that's bothered me since I first read it. It states that scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand.
Yes, so it does.
Scarlet ink? Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, but I freely admit that I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they?
Your wit is not appreciated.
I'm sorry, I know, he's your dead brother, and oh, honey. If you feel that that's desecrating your brother's memory, I got some bad news. Oh, this relationship is gonna be in fucking tatters like all the rest of them. God damn it. Poor Ionesque, forced into heterosexuality.
My brother was a well-bred and facetious man. Should ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately.
All my boyfriends and girlfriends are taken. Is there no one left who's single?
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm shocked you have never realized my feelings for you. Love lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. What is your point, Council?
My point is this. Whatever Lord Clint Von Zeeks was writing in that unusually colored ink, it must have been directly before his death. Again, accusing him of murder now aside, Strongheart's been pretty forthcoming the entire game. It's possible he's taken a liking to us. I mean, that's also gonna end badly because his ass about to be in jail, but whatever. Before he died, he had the opportunity to clean his hand.
What?
I remember something troubled me at the time.
Gonna make our boyfriend hate us.
At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open.
You left for a moment and returned to Strongheart, confessing to Ryu and singing, yeah, this game's great.
But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. And no document penned in the color of that inkwell was ever found.
That still begs the question of where the fuck it actually went, but...
So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was
the same document Lord Clint Von Zeeks was writing the moments before his death? All my boyfriends either hate me or cheat on me. There's just no pleasing some people.
Then it was.
If Mr. Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that yes. Mr. Vigil. Sir? When you spotted Mr. Soki with the document in his cell, his precise words were as follows, were they not? All right then, but what's on that paper?
A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. I'm Sean Connery, and I approve this message.
A last will and testament?
I...
If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, it wasn't his last will. He meant it literally. Yeah. Fucking for whatever goddamn reason Clint wrote that, Clint left something implicating himself as the actual murderer of the majority of them, and Genshin somehow got a hold of it and hung on to it, and decided to keep it in hopes that it would, and that was the bargaining chip for getting for the execution. I'm still confused why they fucking tried to shoot him afterwards, but I'm sure they'll explain. I get it. I mostly get it. You going to bed, Red? Nighty night. I don't know how much longer we're going. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this tonight. Like, we seem like we're on the brink of something, but I don't know how long this case is, and y'all know me, I'm slow. So, and I know there are no, like, actual proper breakpoints, so if there's ever, like, what we feel is a natural stopping point that'll be decent to, like, still get this done in a timely fashion tomorrow, let me know. Then what we know now completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asogi said.
You really think?
Mr. Vigil did indeed see the convict with a will. But it wasn't that of Genshin Asogi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Von Zeeks.
No.
What?
Objection!
This is madness! My brother's last will and testament? That would mean that he had chosen to die!
That is what it would mean, yeah. Yeah, no, that would make sense, actually. I guess. Oh, wait. No. I'm thinking. What am I thinking? I'm thinking he killed. For some reason, I was thinking he killed himself afterwards. No. Genshin definitely killed him. They'll explain. You think we can do it just no more Gilbert singing? No promises.
No, impossible! That is utterly out of the question!
Lord Von Zeeks.
Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night.
I think that may have just been guilt.
Whatever happened, he never would have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never! He wouldn't rest until his job was done. Until the killer was caught. The idea that he would willingly accept his own death is obscene!
Objection!
And yet, we can be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death.
And that Genshin Hisogi came to be in possession of that document. His autopsy said the wounds were fucking indicative of a duel. I don't know how the fuck you could tell that based on wounds. I don't think there were any telltale signs of that. But, were him and Genshin, like, in on it together? And some, like, fucking five-head scheme where, like, they had a duel and whichever one died had to carry out the other's will? So what could the will possibly have contained?
Clearly something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever, because armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life. It was something so damning that it prompted the powers that be to enact the daring jailbreak plot. Yes, there can be no question that the will contained information of the utmost secrecy.
Information of the utmost secrecy.
Ah! No.
It couldn't be. Did you have the same realization I had, Runo? Are you still my spirit animal? Signs of a fight? But it would have been, I presume it would have been a battle with swords, right? I presume it would have been a sword fight, right? Like, I'm not sure how scuffed up they could have been. Other than, like, maybe, like, minor nicks from, like, almost hitting each other. And so, with a heavy heart, I had no other choice to break Von Zeke's heart and mind, and reveal the hidden destructive reality beneath this roof. Hate me all you want, Barack. I never hold any ill intent towards you, so I don't ask for your forgiveness. I know I'm unworthy of your love now.
I've heard more than enough. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody can attest to having seen. Serves absolutely no purpose.
No, my lord. That's unacceptable.
What do you say, Council?
The last will and testament of Genshin Hisogi had in his possession was that of Lord Clint Von Zeeks.
The bee guy? We could still hook up with the bee guy. Good old Gasman. Gasman was a pretty cool guy. I don't judge. My favorite character is Brushel. Don't judge people by their appearances. It's rude. Literal angel.
All the testimony and evidence presented to the court logically led us to that possibility. We have a duty to pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion.
But with no possible means of knowing the contents of this document, there is no line of reasoning to pursue.
Fucking Barack looks like Barack looks like he's about to do a Jekyll and Hyde solo. He's so anguished. Oh my god, honey.
A reason why Lord Clint Von Zeeks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary wouldn't be willing to negotiate a jailbreak of condemned killer. The only explanation that fits those facts
is an unthinkable truth that turns absolutely everything on its head. But it's just too hideous.
Mr. Naruhodo? However difficult the situation might become, you work with your client in pursuit of the truth. And that's what you resolved to do when you entered the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Miss Susato.
So hold your head high, and keep soldiering on.
Yes, you're right. 10 years ago, in his final moments, Lord Clint von Zieks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Hisoki was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details of the will were related to the professor's case.
The defense's last statement is mere conjecture. What are you getting at, man?
Oh no. No name, no learned friend, we're just man now? Oh no. We've already lost him. Ryunosuke! As soon as these words come out of my mouth, there's no going back. I believe the last will and testament of Lord Clint von Zieks was in fact... Like, genuinely asking, like, people are saying, like, they think I can make it if I don't get distracted too much, but, like... Let's pretend that I can fire on all cylinders for the remainder of the stream and, get everything right, for the most part. How long do you think this will take? Because, like I said, if this goes too long, I'm gonna end up breaking this into multiple parts on the YouTube and whatnot anyway. So if this is gonna be, like, another 4 or 5 hours or something... 2 more hours at most? Really? Oh my god, is that all? Even for me? 2 to 3 hours? That's taking Novatax into account? You know Novatax, you have to charge at least 10% extra time for her stupidity. Maybe 4. Is there any remotely decent stopping point? Novatax. That's what we're gonna start calling it from now on. Anytime I ask for a time estimate. And people lowball it. You have to account for Novatax. Keep going and see where I feel like stopping? No, but that's the thing. Like, if I end up getting burnt out like 3 hours when it's only 4 hours, I don't want to stream tomorrow for 1 hour. Don't believe so. Alright. I know this isn't much of a stopping point either, but I'm just saying, if there's no better one, then I felt like this might be as good a time as any.
You can do this, Mr. Naruhodo.
I believe what Lord Clint von Zieks actually penned that day was a confession. A confession? Regarding the mass murder known as the Professor. And his true identity.
Objection!
Enough, Council! What are you saying? Do you even realize? A confession about the true identity of the Professor. That would mean...
Lord von Zieks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in. You appreciate this must... Runo, wording. I know that's technically correct, but no. I'm glad this is a lot for you to take in. I'm glad you're suffering right now. It's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy wasn't Genshin Asogi at all. No, you can't be suggesting. How dare you prove that thing I've been trying to prove this entire time? It was in fact the man believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint von Zeeks himself.
It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box!
No, fuck you. If I'm bending this to that, I'm sure as fuck not watching Kamen Rider Build after this. The Great Von Zeeks family!
He was a paragon of justice in the capital!
But he was actually a mass murderer? A perpetuator of the aristocracy's vilest nature. If the general public ever found out, law and order would be finished! Good, that show's overrated.
My brother.
Oh, this is too awful. Poor Lord Von Zeeks.
I wonder, though, did he never suspect?
Mr. Naruhodo?
Lord Barath Von Zeeks is a brilliant prosecutor. It's inconceivable he didn't realize what his older brother really was.
Order! Order in the court!
Lord Von Zeeks. The professor made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog?
Yes, he did. Balmung. He was a well-known hunting dog. People called him a giant.
I don't believe this.
When my brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house, he always took Balmung. You mean Thrasher? He was a good boy. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too. Almost as if he were following his master.
Oh, baby.
He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck.
Yeah. Why didn't we fucking keep that as a mental note? I know Scotland Yard would have taken it as evidence after we found it, but good God. A jewel-studded collar. There we go.
That's right, though sadly. Some years ago now, it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night.
Aha! A jewel-studded collar stolen by a thief. Doesn't ring a bell. Actually, no, we came across the collar during our time in London.
How could you?
There was an old emblem attached to the collar, too, made of pure gold. It was topped with a small crown and bore an ornate capital letter B.
What? An emblem with the initial B?
Oh, I mean, it's still Baskerville too, but but his name was Balmung. Oh, oh.
Oh my, you know it?
It's the insignia of the Baskerville family.
Oh, okay, no, still is. Okay. It just worked both ways. Bisexual doggo. What? The Baskerville? Why is that shit coming up now? You know goddamn well why.
Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow.
Uncle Barry! Bullshit powers! Win the day! America! That's why they had to keep the Baskerville bullshit secret from her. I don't know. Like, did Sholmes fucking know all this time that Clint was the actual killer? Because what would be the use in covering it up? Because I'm thinking, like, that would be the reason, right? that would be a reason to not fucking, to not tell her. You don't want her to know her dad was a fucking serial killer. But then that would mean that if Sholmes fucking knew it was actually Clint this whole goddamn time, I swear to fucking God.
That pure gold emblem was an heirloom which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There could be no doubt then. The colony you described was Balmung's.
The family insignia of Lord Clint von Ziek's widow?
There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been its quarry, of course. Then who was Mom? Some lady whose last name used to be Baskerville, apparently. Are they gonna elaborate on that? Did she have pink hair? I assume Clint had the same hair color as his brother? How the fuck did that happen? Who did you fuck, sir? It could have equally been from human prey. So it is true then, Clint von Zieks really was the professor! Impossible! These Japanese are making it all up to exonerate their own! So in fact, the person responsible for these murders of nobles and royals was a noble himself. And that threatened to be an enormous scandal that would irrevocably destabilize British... Why can't I say that word? Irrevocably. Destabilize British society. I'm good at talking. I am good at English words. La-di-da. It was Genshin, he loved cross-dressing. Oh, man! Genshin and Clint invented Mpreg! Oh, good for them, good for them. What heroes. They broke new ground. Oh my god. I can't believe the Japanese did nothing wrong in this Japanese-made game. Weird. My father knew that and was using it to negotiate his way out of the unjust charges brought upon him. I don't even know if it was necessarily that simple, dude, because they dueled, apparently. I guess maybe fucking Genshin found out about it? It's still weird that he would give him... I don't know. They'll explain, I'm sure. At the very last hour, those he bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil. Diversity wins. Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart? And what the fuck was your goal in all, like, what started all this?
10 years have passed, and still now the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy believing that justice was done. That though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed.
I was gonna say, you miscounted, Strongheart. You mean 12. There are 12 people.
Very well then, you may have the truth.
Tell me then! Tell me what Clint really was!
He was a bitch just like his brother! Oh, burn! Get damned on! Lord Clint von Zieks was too pure of heart.
Okay.
When he became a prosecutor and went in pursuit of the back roots of the crime, he drove himself into a corner. Gotti! He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals, he would have to become the Batman.
Clint.
Okay, yeah, so it was a vigilante type thing. Good God, why would you choose that method of murder? Jesus Christ.
19th century was truly a miraculous 100 years for Great Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, and the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society. We live in one.
Also, if I'm correct, yes, that means Iris is Robin. Aww. Carrie Kelly would be proud.
Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes and crime, growing daily to fill the darkness. But I'm sure we could squash it out by the next century. It's not like it's gonna get even worse, right? Lord Clint Von Zieks made it his mission to combat that darkness. As time went on, it slowly ate at his soul until eventually he was consumed.
Was there ever a boy genius Robin? Not to my knowledge. Damien's probably the closest, but Damien's also kind of a little shit who thinks he's smarter than he actually is. I wouldn't call him a genius.
It's ironic, really, and somewhat surprising that the truth has once again been unearthed.
Tim also has his moments. Tim's a smart cookie. He can apparently read Navajo. According to terrible, terrible comics.
And the Americans almost collapsed in this decade, even more racist than us. Be happy, you damn Nipponese have any rights here. By a filthy 11.
Once again, what do you mean? I don't understand that reference.
10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up at my office one night. The professor?
Yes, beyond all shadow of a doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once.
Don't be absurd. That man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital.
Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion to us to commit these atrocious crimes behind the scenes.
Do you have any evidence?
Nothing definitive as of yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on his estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy.
So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scotland Yard onto this based on the tenuous accusation of a visiting student. So I turned down Asogi's plea, and as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Von Zieks mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Besides filthy, filthy sex. We know the outcome, of course. Lord Clint Von Zieks perish.
I don't believe this.
So in actual fact, Kazuma-sama's father did?
He made Lord Von Zieks meet the same fate. He put a permanent end to the professor's killings by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life.
As soon as I heard, I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what happened.
And what about the will?
Asogi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document at that time.
So Clint liked it rough. Giggity.
I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor. So I resolved to keep it a secret, and to guard the secret to the bitter end.
So you're admitting to it? That you were behind it all? It was you then who pinned the crimes on my father!
did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exemption. Even if that meant employing an unforgivable ruse.
Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence.
I ordered that detective to take care of it, yes, whilst keeping the truth from him. Naturally.
Gregson.
Obviously, he opposed me at first.
Are you up there, Uncle? We can't do something like that. I'd pretend that I actually had morals back then, but I fucking didn't.
No question it was Asogi who murdered Lord Von Six. The house staff have made statements they saw the man running from the mansion that night.
I was gonna say he's just admitting it, but that's the problem. So, like, what can we actually get him on? Like, as long as he has his fucking holy armor saying, oh, he did it all for the good of the country or whatever. Like, what actual convictions can we get on him? I don't think anything, really.
Don't, can't touch me.
I've no doubt it was that Japanese fellow. But we haven't got a shred of evidence against the man. And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog. So we're short a murder weapon to boot.
And we're short on time, Gregson. We must put a stop to this man's rampage for the good of the country. So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, Detective?
Blimey. That night 10 years ago when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets. And Genshin's ring was taken. That was him, was it? That was Gregson and some hired help. Then the detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery from the victim's stomach during the autopsy. And in light of that decisive evidence, Mr. Sogi was found guilty of the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with with his accusers, in which he agreed silently to accept the charges. But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhanded dealings.
It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness.
What weakness?
Isn't it obvious? You little shit!
Me? Hey, it was actually the thing I said. Like, yeah, you can't just threaten people's loved ones into cooperating with your underhanded bullshit. It's not possible.
I haven't aged a day in 8 years. Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Asogi.
What?
Though I hear you have a 14-year-old son. It'd be a shame if something happened to him. Agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention. And you will see Japan and your son again.
You scoundrel!
Whether you choose wisely or not, it will be a closed trial by order of Her Majesty. So whatever rash claims you might make in court, we'll have no trouble in stifling them. Only one outcome for you, Asogi. The gallows.
Don't forget I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden.
Yes, it hadn't escaped my mind, which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order, you understand? So, what's it to be, Asogi?
Kazuma.
He did it for me?
Ha ha! Your dad loved you! What a pussy! I told him at the time my motive was simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. To protect this country's law and order at any cost. $5.99 shipping and handling.
I've never dared to let myself even consider this possibility until now. But in the light of all this treachery, I have to ask. Does this outfit make my ass look big? The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Male Strongheart?
Why? See, this is what I'm getting. This is what I was thinking, but like, is he gonna admit to this too?
You can't convict me. I got extraterritorial rights.
What the fuck does that mean?
A rather brilliant idea. What did you say, Lord Von Zeeks?
I'm the one who asked it.
Ignore me! That the spirit of your late brother, the paragon of justice, should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale for London's masses, I ask you?
What brazen...
I knew you'd play the part to perfection. But your role really wasn't that of some embodiment of death. No, you were London's guardian angel.
An angel with bloody hands? I think not.
So he's literally just admitting to everything, and yet we're still gonna have to do some stupid bullshit to actually get him convicted of something.
Those who had cooperated with me already were too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson. My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them you were exalted as the demigod the Reaper became.
But Dr. Wilson left Britain 4 years ago when he was invited to work in Japan.
That's right! So I had to employ the services of his young protege after that. Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Dr. Scythe?
So what with the execution of the professor and subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Bailey? I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. That is everything. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, I do hereby confess it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say in my defense, I have a dick this big, and it was all for the preservation of law and order across the entire empire.
Lord Strongheart did it? An unforgivable collection of crimes, but still...
All those who died in the Reaper's head were wrapped into the court anyway.
If it was all in the aid of keeping London safe...
There is no one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further. Now I would like to entreat all those present. Beyond these four walls, nobody need know the truth. Even Her Majesty must be protected from this. Please don't tell the Queen I'm assassinating people who I deem guilty. Scout's honor. I trust you all appreciate the importance of my request. It is, of course, for the good of the country.
Is this legal? I don't think this is legal.
Hold it!
I have one last question. For the accused, Lord Von Zeeks.
What?
Of course I know that you're a highly accomplished prosecutor. So I find it hard to believe that you didn't have any doubts at all. That you never suspected your older brother. Yeah, the same thought had occurred to me.
It was only once, but yes. I couldn't say that I never had my doubts. My brother's sense of justice was extremely strong. Perhaps too strong, I observed. At that time, there were members of the aristocracy who were bleeding the country dry for their own gain. since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a source of great turmoil.
And coincidentally, at the same time, the professor began his terrifying reign.
During the time of the professor killings, my brother did not appear to be himself.
And that made you suspect?
Yes. But it was only once, not more.
Only once, really.
Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. And I still believe that now.
Do you have any evidence to support that idea?
The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. No matter what circumstances, it's unthinkable my brother could have killed his friend and mentor.
Unfortunately, I think we're the long haul tonight best. I already regret my choice. But, it is what it is.
That will do! Neither Clint Von Zieks nor Genshin Asogi will walk this earth. However much we debate this now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. But there are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woebegone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asogi. Then the 3-page last will and testament penned in black ink left behind by the man. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained. Later today, I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Here, again, I don't know. It hasn't been that long since I last asked, but like, how long do we think from here, including Nova Tax? You think it's fine here? It's really that much longer? Like, I feel like it shouldn't be. Like, it doesn't feel like we have that much to prove. I seem very dreaded a little bit. I have 7 actions left, but everything between it is a lot of reading. Oh, God. There's that much more. Ugh. Don't want to sour this moment, that's fair. Are we including after the trial? Yes, of course. Why would I leave that for a separate stream? I take it that wasn't included in the estimates I got before that were like 2 to 3 hours? Lots more story. How much more from this exact moment? Or do I need to do at least a little more tonight? That's all I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying to make sure I can still finish it tomorrow even, if I stop now. Probably 3 hours. Okay. Alright, that's fine then. Alright, that sounds good. Including the aftermath, I assume. Yeah, I don't know, why would it... Like, people have not included that before. Like, why would you not include the aftermath? Like, when has there ever been a time when I've stopped, like, right after a trial? And then just saved the aftermath of it for a different stream? Especially the finale. Yeah. If I stop now, I could still finish tomorrow at a decent time. Okay. Alright, that sounds good then. Alright, I hate to leave on an awkward moment with no music. But yeah, I want to make sure. Gilbert's voice... Gilbert's voice starts to grade after a while. Holy crap, Late Night Wife, thank you very much for the 500. Jesus. Much appreciated. Maybe a couple more sentences to get some place for the music. Will it ruin anything if I go like 1 or 2 more sentences? You did include, that's why you got Forge Monado, yeah. I can play some music tomorrow, I suppose. I can play some music tomorrow when I start up, right? Yeah, like I said, I want to make sure I do this right. Like I said, Gilbert had a lot of exposition. Gilbert gave a lot of exposition, and I know he's gonna be very more. And he's very
He's very theatrical and meticulous in his dialogue.
Also, Late Night Wife, congratulations, you are officially Kamen Rider Cheer. Let me adjust that. At the very least, if I'm gonna call it here. Maybe go to tea time. Like I said, I feel like this is the beginning of the big final push. So I guess this is probably the best place to do it. It's gonna be awkward no matter what. Again, I knew that if I couldn't finish it tonight. Maybe if I had started earlier. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. This case took forever. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I don't know where the hell we go from here. Because, like, there's not a whole lot we can actually get him on. Short of, like, literally the only thing I think he's... Like, I don't think he's directly fucking killed anyone. And a lot of the time it's all dependent on that. The only thing I can really bank on is the idea that, Because they're saying how out of character it was even for him to go this far. Like, was he being coerced? Was Gant doing shit even back then? That's all I can think of. And even then, I don't know how, if that's enough... That's not going to be an easy charge to stick. You were the actual mastermind of it, even though somebody else was probably the one doing the direct killings. So, I don't know. Yeah, I can just start on the title screen tomorrow. It's fine. Alright, okay. I'll stop rambling. Ugh. If Kermit was drawn out, you imagine... Exactly, yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm scared. Is because it's the same kind of weird schematic shit that Kermit did. That's why I'm scared, because, yeah, I get the feeling this is going to take a while. I get the feeling 4 hours might be underestimating it even, but alright. One way or another, we'll finish this tomorrow. I'll actually start on time tomorrow. 7 o'clock sharp. Alright. Thankfully, this is better than I was gonna say, at least this is actually interesting. At least the stuff we're arguing about is actually interesting, so it's fine. Alrighty. I'm gonna go, drink a shit ton of water. And maybe make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something. And then I guess we'll watch some Kamen Rider build on the Discord in a little bit. Did I save? Did I save? Did I save? Alrighty, tomorrow. Tomorrow we finish this. I will make sure to drink plenty of hot tea. Didn't have to stay up all night proving an old man didn't go to the bathroom and then proven guilty with hot dogs. Is that a thing in a game? Oh no. No Genshin though? It's fine. I'll just do the rest of the event when it's done completely. We've got one more day of it anyway. I could still do the actual gameplay parts without watching the cutscenes. I want to see the cutscenes, but whatever. I can wait a couple more days. Like I said, Genshin's been kind of poopy lately anyway. Alrighty. Thank you all for coming out. Special thanks to I Need Professional Help and all of the Go-Kart and above patrons, for real this time. If you want to help support me buying lots of hot tea, because Gilbert Gottfried hurts, check out the links in the description. Love you guys. Nighty-night.